Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. So today's coffee talk video is going to be about dealing with hard change. So if you guys want to hear what I have to say, then just keep on watching. So recently I've had a lot going on, and really soon there's going to be some big changes that are going to be happening in my life in the next month or two, and it's just going to be a lot. So lately I started to feel kind of overwhelmed and just getting so stressed out about everything going on because there are changes that I can't control, and there's a lot of things that go on in all of our lives where things come up and you can't do anything about it. Like maybe you lose a boyfriend, you lose a best friend, you lose your job, or you have to make a big move. There's just so many things that happen that are beyond our control, and I was just sitting there trying to figure out how I could deal with all the change that's about to happen. So when I was trying to figure out how I was going to deal with this so that I was no longer letting this consume me and I wasn't so overwhelmed and having anxiety and panic attacks over it, is one of the things I always do is when I'm in a bad situation, I kind of think to myself what it is that I would say to you guys, or what I would say to a friend if they came to me and told me that they were going through the same thing. So I kind of think about the advice that I would give to them and try to give it to myself. So that's kind of what I did. I thought about what would I tell you guys if you asked me what you should do or how you should handle this situation. So I just wanted to share it with you guys today because obviously this is something that we all go through, and I feel like it's just really good to talk about. Right now, some of the changes coming up, I'm kind of keeping most of them to myself, so I can't exactly give you guys full examples here of what's going on with me because I'm just not ready to announce it yet. This video is going to come out before I am, but I will kind of keep you guys a little bit updated on my Twitter and my Instagram accounts, and yeah, I mean, I'll do a video on it when I'm ready, but right now I'm in the thick of dealing with it, and so I just wanted to let you guys know how I'm handling hard change in my life. One of the first things I want to talk to you guys about is facing your fear of change, because for me, that's kind of how I've always been. I used to fear change so badly, and I still do sometimes. It's when things are going really great in your life, you just want to cling to that so badly. You don't want things to change because you don't want anything to disrupt your life that you're living when you are in a peaceful place. But I guess when I am happy and something bad happens and it is a hard change that I need to deal with and I can't necessarily control that change, I just try to think about the times when I almost embraced change, when I asked for my life to change, when I proactively went out and tried to make changes in my life. Because if you think about it, I'm sure we've all been there. I'm constantly going through that loop where if I'm unhappy with something going on in my life or I feel stuck, I go after a new life. I chase after things that I want, and I try to make changes and experience new things, and I enjoy it, and I welcome change. And I guess that's kind of how I've been dealing with my fear of it now. I keep reminding myself of that. I've been in bad spots before, and I embraced the changes going on in my life, and things got so much better. So I guess the way that I kind of look at it as, even though certain doors have recently closed for me, who knows what other doors it has opened? You know what I'm saying? I try to look at it that way. Instead of something to fear, I look at it as something to look forward to. So I guess what I'm trying to get at is to focus on your mindset during this change. Try not to fear it. Try to embrace the change, because you can't stop the fact that things are constantly changing in your life, and you shouldn't want to, because you're going to learn, you're going to grow. Life is just constantly evolving, and that's a good thing. It doesn't have to be bad. So I guess I'm just that type of person where I really do believe that everything happens for a reason. So instead of looking at the situation, asking myself, oh, why is this happening to me? I kind of look at it what is this trying to teach me? What am I going to gain from this change in my life? What am I going to learn from it? How many new doors does this open for me? What new experiences can I have? Because that redirects my mind into thinking about the positive thing, which is coincidentally another tip that I was going to suggest, is to find a positive spin on the change going on in your life. Losing a friend, losing a boyfriend, losing your job, anything like that, it can really suck. It can hit you hard. It's not necessarily what you wanted to happen, but I believe that it happens for a reason. This person isn't meant to be in your life, or that wasn't the career that was meant for you. Maybe this place isn't for you, but there's something better out there for you. So don't you want to go out and explore what that is? I guess that's how I see it. Even though the changes in my life were stressing me out and scaring the crap out of me, I just took a step back and tried to make a positive spin on it. I'm a dork when it comes to making like lists, and I do it all the time. And it's kind of like coming up with your own pros and cons list for whatever hard change you happen to be going through at the time, because I promise you, you're going to be able to find some positive changes to it. Like if somebody walks out on you, they weren't meant to be in your life. They weren't right for you for a reason. And I'm sure you can come up with some things where you won't miss about that person, or you won't miss certain things about a job. And you can sit down and ask yourself, what is it that you truly want? Because you can go after it now. When you lose something, there's so much more for you to gain, and other experiences for you to have, and new people to meet, and you never know what's going to happen when these things change. Like another way I put positive spins on things is that I kind of remind myself of all the hard times that I've been through in the past, and it just lifts my mood because it reminds me of how strong I am. Like I have been through so much, and there's been so many things that have hurt me and tried to tear me down, and I've gotten through them all. So there's no reason that I can't get through this too and end up on the other side so much happier, you know? So the next piece of advice I would have for you guys is to focus on what you can control. Part of the reason why when hard change happens, why it hits us so hard is because it's something that happened to us that we can't control. And it makes us kind of lose control of our emotions in the process. We become overwhelmed and stressed out because we don't focus on the things that we can control in the situation. You can control how you react to something. You can control how you feel about something. You can focus your mind on other things to better yourself. Well, let's look at a situation here for a second. Like, let's say that you lose a friend. Now, you can't control the fact that they walked out on you. What you can control is how you deal with it. Like I said before, you know, I would look at the positive side of it and what I'm not going to miss anymore about it. But then one of the things that I can also control is finding new friends. Because think about it. The thing that you're sad about is losing this person in your life. You know, you've got this huge gap in your life that didn't used to be there, and you kind of want to fill it. Well, not only can you fill up that time that you would have spent with that friend, focusing on yourself and doing things that you're passionate about, but you can also spend that time meeting new people and spending time with other friends that are in your life that maybe you weren't making enough time for before. Think about it like if you were to lose a relationship, for instance. You know, you put so much time and energy into that relationship, now you have all that time and energy to spend on something else. Some of the situations that have gone on with me recently, there was a lot that I couldn't control in the moment. So I've been taking it day by day and just focusing on what could I control that day? What could I do that day to take me one step closer to where I wanted to be? What could I do that day to make myself feel better? What could I do that day to change things in my life because of what's gone on? My next tip, which is going to sound like it's going against what I just said, it would be to take a break. Now, let me explain. Obviously, a few minutes ago, I talked about, you know, taking control of your life and focusing on what you can control and proactively going out and changing what you want to change. The problem with big change happening and how we become overwhelmed and feel consumed by it is that we spend all day focusing on the problem or focusing on the solution, and we don't stop for a minute to just take a break from it. You need to kind of mentally check out sometimes for a little bit. You can't fix everything all in one day. You need to give yourself a break. You don't need to be thinking about this huge change going on in your life 24/7. It will overwhelm you and it will just drain you of all your energy. So what you need to do is take a break and just live in the present moment. So I have definitely been doing that lately, where I'm like, okay, I've done all I can do today, and I've looked for all the solutions I can today. I've done as much as I possibly can. I'm done for the day. I don't want to think about this anymore. I don't want to focus on it. I don't want to let it affect my mood anymore. And I try to focus on being mindful, which is something I've been practicing because it's really great for my anxiety. I've read a lot of books on it lately, and I've been doing my very best. I've gone out and taken the dog for a really long walk lately. That's been really enjoyable for me. And instead of thinking about everything else that I want to be doing, or maybe I could possibly do tomorrow or the week ahead, or things that are going to happen to me because of what's going on, I just focus on my dog, the walk, how nice the weather is, the breeze, you know, the smell of the spring air. Like, I just am in the present moment. I'm spending time with my daughter. I'm focusing on just her, not everything else that would normally make me upset. Like, I've spent enough time dealing with that. So make sure that you guys do remember to live in the moment and take a break from your problems instead of constantly thinking about the problem or looking for the solution, okay? If you are one of those people where you find yourself still completely overwhelmed, just thinking to yourself, okay, this is too much change for me. Like, I can't stand it. Too much is changing around me. Focus on what isn't going to change for a little bit. Like, just take a step back and look at what you're not going to lose by what's going on around you. What is stable in your life, and focus on that, because it can calm you so much. Like, I find myself just taking a deep breath and being like, okay, you know, my relationship with my daughter isn't going to change over this. I still have her, or I still have my dog. I still have my family for support. And at the end of the day, make sure that you're taking care of yourself, because no matter what, you still have you to rely on. Anyways, my camera's about to die because I've been talking for so long, but I guess the last thing I want to tell you guys is to remember at the end of the day just to take care of yourself, because no matter what, you've still got you. You can be your own best friend. You will always be able to rely on yourself above everything else. No matter what goes on, you've got your own back, and you need to remember that you've been through so much, and you've learned and you've grown as a person. Bad things have happened before and you've gotten through it, so you've got this. You can do it, and you can come out on the other side a better and happier person. So yeah, I guess what I'm trying to say is just believe in yourself. As corny as that sounds, you've got this. You can get through anything. You've been through so much before. You can get through this too. And the good thing about the fact that life is always changing is that it's always changing. So if things are bad now, they won't be later on. So just keep moving forward with your life and believe that you can do this, because you guys can achieve anything you want to, and you can get through hard times and come out a stronger person. Yeah, that's it for this coffee talk. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up before you go, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.